I've started work on rebuilding the bench for our winter veggies. This is the current mess in our barn as we're getting ready for our winter crop. That's a winter growing bench down there that I'm currently doing some renovations on, which I'm going to show you in a moment. I'm taking 4 inches off the bottom of the legs because I'm modifying the top and raising it up 4 inches to make it easier to get the drainage out of the Dutch buckets. These are our cauliflower seedlings desperately waiting to go into our buckets. So I'll get a move on and I'll get this bench sorted. You can see that they're healthy little plants, but they now require feeding with a nutrient solution. Today was a bit just cool, water only 17 degrees centigrade and very overcast. There was no rain, but no sunshine either. This was a makeshift bench for last year's crop, as I didn't have time to construct a proper one. This year I am rectifying that situation. Here I am clamping the sections of the temporary legs together after levelling them off. Then I will measure off the 4 inches that will be removed from each of the legs. Having done that, I'll square off my line before getting my trusty silky saw and cutting that piece of the leg off that I don't require. These silky saws are made in Japan and they're very, very sharp, very efficient at cutting. I use my silky saw mainly for cutting pieces of timber, branches from trees that have fallen down that I can use when I'm doing wood turning projects. Like all Japanese saws, they cut on the full stroke. You can see how efficient it is in removing that piece of timber from the bottom of the leg. There we go, first one done. I'll put that piece of timber aside, even though it's pine. We'll use that for burning in our fireplace. Now I'll put the silky saw away and get my cordless drill so I can drill the screws in to hold the leg together. Final check on the leg to make sure it's all square. It looks like I need another F clamp, so I'll clamp that on, hold that into position, and then I can start to screw the legs together. If you find this video helpful, please leave a like. Now I'll start screwing the supports together to strengthen the legs on the bench, because this year we're going to have additional Dutch buckets on it. Each one is a 10-litre bucket and it's filled with scoria, so there's a pretty fair amount of weight that sits on this bench. This bench will hold 27 of these buckets. Another couple of screws needed to finish the job. Quick check, nope, that looks alright. Alright, I'm now putting screws in from the other side to secure the other half of the leg. One more down from the top and the job should be finished just about. Another couple of screws and that part of the job is finished. Now I'll remove the F-clamps from the leg so I can then get my fencing pliers and cut the pieces of wire off that we use to tie the leg together.
That's got rid of all the wires. Now I'll check the leg. It looks like it's a little bit loose there. One of the braces could do with a bit of tightening up, so I'll drag that out. I'll pull the screw out a bit and then push it back in again with a bit of extra force on it, and that should solve the problem.
I've been making some changes over the last couple of days on the bench, and we'll look at those closely in a moment. But you can see I've planted out lots of the cauliflower seedlings we've got there. They're just waiting to go into the system. So what we're going to do today, this 19mm line here is going to be tied down tightly with conduit saddles. Then I'm going to put the feeders into the line, and then we'll connect them up to the individual Dutch buckets, and then we'll be able to set the pump up, which is down here. There's a pump in the reservoir waiting to be connected, and then the feed will all be automatic 4 times a day at the moment. Alright, let's get back to work.
This is the electrical conduit saddle that I'll be using to secure the 19mm roofing screws to secure them to the bench. That's the first one. We've got that one secured. Now I'll do the next one. I'll cut open a packet and take out another conduit saddle, and then tighten it down to the bench. I'm now ready to start hooking up the Dutch buckets to the nutrient feeder line. This is a plastic tool that I will use to make holes in the feeder line. We'll need 6 of them in this set, because we've got 2 rows of buckets across the bench with 3 buckets in each row. This section of the video has been sped up 3-fold. These are the double barbed poly fittings that I will use to attach the 4mm line for feeders into the 19mm line from the pump. I grip the barbs with a pair of fencing pliers and use them to insert the barbs into the line. It's far simpler to do than just trying to push them in with your fingers. There's a neat row of 4mm poly irrigation double barb joiners. I'm using a gas flame to soften the ends of the 4mm poly that will be feeders for the nutrient into each of the individual Dutch buckets as I push it down over the joiner. That's the second nutrient feeder line done. Now I'll get some more 4-inch poly, flick it in front of the gas flame, soften it up a little bit so that I can attach it to the posts. That's the roll of 4mm poly that I'm using, that I'm cutting pieces from. And that's 5 of them, so we're getting close towards the end now. I need to put another one in for the 3rd Dutch bucket on the left hand side. I'm heating it in the gas flame and pushing it onto the post. Right, that's the 6 of them ready now. Now I'll start connecting the nutrient feeder lines to the Dutch buckets. First one on the left over there, I'll pull it through a little hole that I've drilled on the side of the pot. You can see it on the other side over there quite easily. So the lines are into those 2 pots now, and they've been positioned in behind the cauliflower plant. I'll bring in another bucket with a cauliflower planted in it and set it up on the bench, making sure that I get the bleeder over the top of the drain hole so that we don't lose any nutrient solution. That's also the reason that I've sealed up around the 13mm bleeder line that we have coming out of the bottom of each one of these Dutch buckets. And in actual fact, I'm shooting an entire video on how I set the buckets up, the sizes of the material that I use, and how I seal up the drainer pipe with silicone. I'll install another bucket now, making sure I get the drain pipe in the bucket over the hole in the 3-inch PVC pipe that I'm using for a drainer to return the unused nutrient solution back to the reservoir. I'll tighten that down now and put the 4mm feeder into it. You can see there that is the first line of 3 buckets set up. And here comes another one for the other side now. Position the bucket correctly for drainage, and then once I've done that, I'll put a 4mm feeder line into it so that the plant can receive nutrient every day 4 times when it's pumped in automatically. Sorting out the feeder line, there's 6 of them there, then pushing it in through the 6mm hole in the bucket on the side there that you can see, and then pull it through, taking up any slack on it, and then trimming it on the end with a razor blade to take the little bit of excess tubing off. Alright, that one's done. Now to get the last bucket in this batch of 6 and align it properly so it drains, and then attach the feeder line to it. That one there that I'm picking up at the moment, putting it in through the hole in the side of the bucket, and just checking to make sure that it's not too long. It turned out it was a little bit too long, so I cut the excess off with a razor blade. Well, there they are. That's the first 2 rows of 3 Dutch buckets set up properly. Just check them to make sure they're all right. Now I'll move on to doing the next set of 6. If you find this video helpful, please leave a like and don't forget to subscribe.